story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness the mad mage is stirring. From countless voices the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape. A story once spoken is ageless.
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
All right. I made it online today. How is everybody? I told COVID to go take a hike. I'm finishing up my breakfast here. Good morning, everybody. I couldn't get my computer to work this morning to save my life. Worked fine last night, you know. Get up this morning, walk in here. I think one of my splitters has died overnight. Good to see you too, King. Good to see everybody. Forgive my coughing and stuff. I'm trying to fight this crap. My wife works at a public restaurant, a big one at Golden Corral. It's a really big one down here, and she brought it home. And I didn't realize, she didn't get diagnosed with COVID. She went to the doctor. They told her they didn't check for it anymore. They just treat it like flu, which is interesting. And so she went to urgent care, and I left, went to a con. Had a great time. I'm gonna make me a post on Facebook today about that. I had a great freaking time down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Man, God, it was fun. And then got back, and on the way back, I started getting sicker. And I guess probably where I worked so hard down there because I walked a lot, and stuff, a lot of that stuff. And I must have had some of her stuff. So when I came back, I got sick. So I went to the doctor, and they said I had COVID. And then she got sicker, and I sent her to the doctor, and to my doctor, and they checked her for COVID. So there you have it. And it's all the same system too, right? So hashtag American Healthcare. Hey, Julia. How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see who else is crawling on here. Sweeper, man. What's up, buddy? Road Traveler. Nice. Let's see. We got, hey, there's George. Hey, George. Good to see you, buddy. Scarlett. Good to see you. Arcania's in here rolling around. Ray's rooming around. Good to see everybody. Good morning. Hey, Savage. Good morning. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm struggling this morning. Like I said, with COVID and crap going on. I've still got to unpack all my crap in the car and all that stuff. I haven't got that done. I did a little bit of work yesterday, and I worked longer than I should have. So today I'm going to cut it short. I don't think I'm going to do this stream. We've got to cut me a meeting, and then I'm going to try to sleep. Oh, well, that's so sweet of you. Love you too, man. Are you back in chat? Right on. Right on, man. We've got to go down. I got to go down to Chattanooga. I think next spring for something. I think, if my memory's correct. I got to look and see on the schedule. My wife does for something. I don't know what it is. She sells jewelry or something. Some kind of conference down there. I don't know. Forgive me if I finish the rest of my toast, but she fixed me some breakfast this morning. Trying to get myself strengthened up for, fighting this COVID. So how's everybody doing? Well, Sweeper, I'm thinking about Conuga. We're looking at it. I got to figure it out. I'd like to try it. I've seen him to Chattanooga, I think twice to 2 different cons, and they weren't very good. One of them wasn't even a gaming con. They told me it was, but the gaming room was like a room with like 3 tables in it. I don't even think they were even like rounds. They were like smaller tables, like a break room or something. We didn't make anything there. We lost all 0. We lost all of our money there. So I gotta be careful. Hey, DM Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing all right. If I'm not mistaken, didn't you put a comment on Instagram? I thought it some called across my feed that you got some games going in GaryCon. And we're looking for GMs to run games at GaryCon. I got some free badges I can give out, and of course we give swag and stuff. I've been having a hard time with my sickness to get this program off the ground, but I've got to go back this week and not this week, but next week I'm gonna apply all the past credits for people going to cons, because when people run games first to cons, I like to try to give them some store credit, and support them in other ways. And I think that was you. I saw it come across there, if I remember right. Yes, it's in March, late March. It's basically my birthday week. Usually falls on or right before my birthday, usually. Okay, did you? Thank you. Yeah, we're way behind the emails too, because where I've been out sick and stuff. It's just been a mess, but I'll get you sorted. No, don't worry, buddy. Yes, yes. Now I didn't. Method was the one we didn't do worth a hoot there. It was that's more of a. I think that's more of a cosplay con. But they've got like 4 cons in Chattanooga, which really blew my mind. Jeremy, I'd love for you to. I'll reach out to you. I'd like to have. We're gonna get our own room this year. I'm sending them a shit ton of stuff. Give out to all the GMs and stuff. A lot, more than I've ever sent them. So we're getting our own room. So we're gonna do some cool things in there. We're gonna have a tournament in there. I need somebody to run a tournament game for us, maybe. And then we're gonna be doing some. We're gonna do some cool stuff in there. It's gonna be our room. So we're gonna make it our room for TLG. If you're running some AA or Harvesters, or there'll be Harvesters there, and there'll be Amazing Adventures there, and Castle Crusades, whatever you're running. I don't care. You know how it is. We don't care if you run 5E and put it in aired, whatever. I don't care. But it's going to be a cool time this year, I think. The tournament game's not a big deal. We give you a packet. It's got all the stuff in it, and it's pretty stringent. Like it's all timed. Everybody starts at the same time. Everybody ends at the same time. Breaks are typically scheduled. We let everybody know you can come and go from the table, but there is a time for a break because it's all points, right? So really, as a GM, what you do is we give you a sheet and you just check it off. And at the end of it, you tally the score up, you turn it in, and then we figure it out. And we give away, the winners of the tournament, they get a prize. They get a prize for going. We give them a trophy. It's fun, it's a lot of fun. Jeremy's writing a new scenario for it this year. Jeremy. But yeah, he's writing a new one, so it'll be good. And I know we're making Twitch a lot more fun, right? Hopefully, excuse me. Hopefully, when I get back out of this funk I'm in, starting next weekend, we're going to start having more games on the channel again too. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm working on, but I can't. Stupid COVID's got me messed up. What's up, Tyler? What are you doing? Well. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I saw the books at GameHoldCon, but I didn't get any of them. And so I had some shipped to me for North Carolina. I went down to Mythicon. And I got the player's book out last night and was reading it. Man, I'm with you, Sweeper. I can't wait to run. I tell you what, I'm going to run me some AA, man. I'm going to do some Fallout in it. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome as shit. Good morning to you, brother. You and Lamberts. Sorry. Calm down here. I won't be able to talk to Beaton later. Waiting on my AA books to see. Julia. I've been loving it. Have you? Yeah, it looks pretty sweet, man. That Jason did a hell of a job with that book. I'm telling you, it looks great. Everybody hopped in, editors and stuff. I'm stoked now because I don't know, man. It clicked. I told my players last night in my game here at the house, the main game I run here, that I would allow them to if they want to use some of the character classes out of A in our CET game. I'm all for it. They like that idea. Well, one of the groups, it's the same group, but we have a couple of different guys that can't make it. These are guys I grew up with. They kind of want to do sort of a mishmash. I think I'm going to do almost like I'm going to run them. They're all like level 11th, 12th. I think I'm going to run them through. I'm not going to run them through Expedition of Barrier Peaks, but I'm going to run them through something that's going to include A material. Like maybe have them like go through a portal and come out in modern time, or maybe Walking Dead or something. And they'll have their swords and stuff, of course, but then they're going to find some weapons, I thought I might do some mashup like that. I don't know. Try it out. What do you think? I think it'd be a lot of fun. And also, guys, if you've got any questions out here, put them out to me. I'll give you any kind of updates. We might talk a little later on if I've got time. I ran a late stream today, so I got to see. But I'll hang as long as I can. And if I got time, we might talk about. I want your opinion about something. I'll show you something I'm looking at. But anyway, where was I with all that? So yeah, hop in if you want to. You just got to give us a follow over on twitch.tv/TrollerGames. And the next exclamation point raffle will get you in for a $10 code. Or $10? Yes, $10 code. I'm wacky this morning. Yeah, Scott, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And they don't know about that. I haven't told them. But that's the group of guys that's been wanting to do some other stuff, right? Some of the guys that don't make it to that group are pretty much staunch. They want to do medieval fates. So these guys here, I think I even worked up a stat block for xenomorphs to use. So I think it'll be kind of cool, Might do some cool shit with them. I don't know. Yeah, and I ran barrier peaks for 5e, and that was a little long in the tooth. You know how 5e can be at higher levels anyway. And those old adventures were written in 10-foot, back then 10-foot squares because they didn't do tactics, right? Much, unless you were doing miniature games, wargaming. And man, you put that on a 5-foot map, look at you, it'll mind blow you just how big that freaking ship is. We were in there running around, and man, it got to be a little bit of a slog at that level, It was all right, but we didn't finish it. They ended up wanting me to go back to CNC, and we did. We started a brand new campaign. I ran that campaign there, that 5e one, with that group for 4 or 5 years on Saturdays. We streamed it. It's fun, but they got high. They got up around 10th level, 11th level, and I was trying to throw higher level stuff at. You know how it works, and I don't know. It was just a big map too. I could probably run it in CNC a lot easier, obviously, because I don't use a lot of the movement in CNC at my table. I don't use it. I don't use EV. I don't use weight. I don't use movement. I don't worry about any of that stuff. I just go. Because I don't know, man. The older I get, the less I like rolls and stuff. I swear I do. I mean, I just like for the characters to come, players to come up with the decisions more. It's their game. I'm just kind of hanging there with them, and it works. I was running White Plume Mountain down at North Carolina, and that was a 3-hour session, and we had 3 combats and a ton of role play. It was great, because I'm just very quick with combat. That's the key to it. You can't let combat drag it down, and that when you start figuring in stuff like weight and movement, and especially in combat and stuff, that's all great. When I was growing up in AD&D stuff, man, we had weapon speed and all that stuff, and that's great. But we had time when we were kids playing. We could play for hours during the summer. Shit. We played 3 days straight, not even sleep, That's different from now. I'm 57 and can't do it no more, So you have to kind of learn to adjust a little bit. Plus, you got to adjust on what kind of players you got, too. Some players are more heavy to role play. Some want to roll dice, So you got to kind of adjust for that kind of thing, too. It's interesting, all the different things you got to consider when you're running a game, really, Let's see. Let me catch back up on comments. Let's see. I remember a Dragon module for years back where the PCs get transferred to modern day London to retrieve it. That rings a bell. I've probably got it in one of my older ones. I've got a ton of my old Dragon magazines, but now half of them don't have covers on them. I didn't take care of them, but I've still got them, believe it or not. Troll Cthulhu 2E is being developed. I'm thinking rehashing an idea I have years ago about dragging and dropping investigation skills. It's really self-contained into A pulp. Yeah, that'd be cool. I used to play Darker Trails, and I love that. I love a good Cthulhu or, whatever you want to call it, horror kind of theme with cowboys. I've always liked that kind of stuff. Cowboys and aliens, and that kind of thing. It's cool. I'm working on reading my A books, looking to run a 1930, 1940 era adventuring club game. I am tempted to modify the original Forbidden City model set in South America. Oh, really? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Forbidden City's fun. I like running that kind of course. I like Inclunade. You guys know that I love jungle stuff. And I kind of want to put a Forgotten City down in Inclunade. I've been trying to play around with that in the back of my head. Something that's been there before Unclar and was never touched by Unclar, so it's completely out of that mode. You know what I mean? He never had it. Because he didn't go down there much. He went down there and they sent a bunch of troops down there to squash the rebellion that Astrobolus had started, right? But Unclar certainly didn't try to police that jungles down there. It served no purpose for him. But, that was uncivilized. The population was undetermined, So it was more about pride than anything, not allowing another god to be worshipped on the planet, right? But anyway, yeah, I want to do something like that. I've got an idea to put a brass ring down there, one of the brass rings that's inactive, and have like maybe people's found it and set it up as like a place to live. And of course, adventurers discover it's something much more, right? Some stuff I'm breaking on the back of my brain. Let's see. I'm working on, running games is best when you run with whatever yeah, man, because y'all have to. I have a good time just being a GM, right? Because I'm a forever GM for the most part. So for me, I've already won. So the key is to do stuff that will have them win, and have fun. Just received a Chromebook. We definitely need to yeah, we will. I meant to reply to you, man, but this COVID's got me messed up a little bit. But I gotta get with you and Jay, and we'll get some stuff going, brother. We're gonna bring back a podcast for CNC, a good one. So, what's up, Clever? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, man. In high school, King. Oh my God, dude. We would play. I remember us playing and literally just taking naps and getting back up and stuff. It was funny. Sometimes we would just pass out in our chairs. Good old Thaco. Oh my gosh. I don't remember. I was talking to my buddies last week. We were looking at the player's handbook in here. And, I don't remember us having charts for different classes for Thaco either. That blew my mind. I can't imagine. We went right through it like it was nothing. But now I'd be like, I could do it if I had to, just reverse it and all that. But it still blows my mind that we did it as teenagers. And I started when I was 9 years old. Of course, that was basic, but you know what I'm saying. I still don't. I can't believe it. If I hadn't have done it, I wouldn't believe it. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Question: what's the worst multi-class combo you've ever seen? Well, King, I don't allow multi-class in my groups anymore. I haven't done multi-class in many years because I let them use so many different character classes at my table anyway. CNC's got if you figured out all the classes of all the Mythos books and everything, I bet there's probably over 50, And I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work as good for CNC, at least for me anyways. It seems like class and a half is kind of interesting, but worst combo, though, for me would be if I had to think about it or someone who I've allowed to do that. Because I do, occasionally let people do multi-class if it makes sense and stuff. And I like to run my groups. I don't know. I like everything to be everybody to have their turn. I don't like groups that are everybody's can cast spells and do melee and do ranged. That just gets so boring, That's a personal opinion. But if I had to think about it, there was a guy one time who wanted to play a paladin thief. And his idea was he was going to steal from the rich to give to the poor, like Robin Hood. And that didn't work out too well for him. Because that's how he started. But then as he got a little higher in level, the paladin side of him seemed to be forgotten a little bit. When he I ran him through an adventure where they found a lot of gold, and he didn't donate to the church or tithe or anything, and he was just buying some weapons and stuff, and he ended up getting excommunicated from the church. So he lost his paladin abilities and stuff for a good bit, and then finally he went ahead and we worked out a deal, and he ended up serving. I think we were doing Forgotten Realms then, so I think he was serving Mask as a paladin. He went back to Mask. So he ended up being a paladin for thieves, and then it worked itself out. But it was kind of funny there for a little bit because, he didn't have anything to do, right? He was kind of like just thieving, and it really tore him up. And I was like, well, because he was following some lawful good God, and no more of that, Let's see, catch up here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. From YouTube, HWJVN. Hey, how's it going? I plan on acquiring both the new CNC and Gygax world building books, but the shipping rates are impossible for someone. Spawn. Hey, so where are you at? Because, in fact, I got to fix that too. I'm glad you mentioned that real quick. HH, I'll call you HH. Give me just a second here. I'm going to flip over to the other computer. This probably won't work because my computers are acting really stupid this morning, but I'm going to try to do it. Let me see if it'll work. And no, my mouse is dead. Yeah, everything's dead. This splitter's died. So I'll have to, give me just a second here and I'll show you where to go. I got to fix that link in chat. It's not working because they updated this. They updated the page, and I was not. They've probably emailed me, but I've been out. I was on traveling, and then I've been sick, so I've not. Yeah, here we go. Give me just a second. Oh, here we go. Huh. All right. Let's see if that'll work. Yep. I'm going to drop this link in chat for you. So a lot of people don't know about this, but we are now partnered with GMS over in Europe. They're in UK, actually. And you will get much better rates with them. And we're going to start using them for all of our Kickstarters, too. Okay, so basically what happens is you'll go through us. I'll set the pricing schedule up. I did it for, what was the last Kickstarter we did? We just finished it. I forget what it was now. What was the last Kickstarter we did? Oh my God, I can't remember. I guess it was Reforged. Yeah, I guess it was Reforged, was it? And I set up the shipping in that, and we've got their tables in there. So you can definitely do that. Or you can buy straight from them. Might be cheaper for you. Go check those guys out and see what you think about it. Okay, they're great people. We're really getting involved with them. I'm actually going to do a couple streams for their company, and we're going to try to build up some stuff over there because I'd like to come over there, or at least some of us come over there for either that expo or for not for Dragon Meet. I wish we could go. That's next soon, but at least for that expo they have over there that they go to. So, but yeah, check that out and tell me what you think about it. I'd like to know actually. Excuse me. Question: how do you run a character in conscious death in your games? I'll tell you. So that's a really good question, Omega. And I've struggled with that over the years because that sucks. Something happens where someone's either laying there unconscious on the ground or maybe they've been put to sleep. Excuse me. Let me slow down a little bit. Or they might be poisoned or something. And I'm trying to talk as loud as I can, guys. I apologize. But what I typically do is, first off, if someone's going to come to my table and they're in a situation where they can't play, two things I do for them is I give them XP, give them a bonus of XP for reward because I consider that to be role playing. If they're willing to come here and role play that their character's dead or unconscious or asleep, come on. Secondly, a lot of times if they feel like it, I let them roll for the monsters that the group's fighting, so they get to play against their characters, against their buddies, right? Usually my guys at my table will never argue that point. They love it. If they're down, yeah, let me at them, and I'll give them all the stats and stuff, and I'll sit back and let them fight. It's turned into a pretty good little time, and that allows me a little bit of a break to plan everything out. Now, I will tell you how I do things at my table. I don't metagame. I try not to metagame as much as I can. So I know you guys have seen me run stuff before, a lot of you have, and I try to run the combat real fast, so I don't ask a lot of questions. Like when I run, excuse me, when I run my game, what I'll do is I just want them to tell me four things. They can either tell me non-combat, spell, ranged, or melee. That's all I want to know, because we're going to get around to it again, and then they're going to tell me who they're attacking, and they're going to tell me what spell they're casting. So why do I need to know it twice, right? So I cut that out right away. Let's say if in a fight that Omega, let's say you're in a fight and you're fighting an orc, and then across the room is King Magloot. King Magloot's fighting too, and then I roll and I hit you, and I roll the damage, and I look and I know in my mind that you're at -5 or minus whatever, right? I'll look at you and you're waiting for me to give you the damage, and I'll look at King and I'll say, you see Omega collapse in the ground and you see a pool of blood spilling out around him. You can't really see if he's breathing or not. That's how I do it. I don't tell nobody nothing. And then they have to make the decision whether they want to go over and check on you or continue fighting or what. Because I hate metagaming. And so that's kind of the things I've tried to eliminate is stuff like that. I redirect the conversation. So now that no one knows. A character you don't know, they don't know. And then I'll look at the character and I'll say, do you want to, just kind of take a break and get up to the table and do some things? Or do you want to roll and continue the battle fighting with me? Typically they'll stay and fight. And then I'll give them some stats, write them down, give them to them or whatever. I'll have them roll and I'll tell them or whatever. But anyway, I'll let them get involved in it. That gives me a little bit of a break also on my side to kind of plan some stuff around the fight. Because in CNC, you can't run over and just magically get somebody back up anyway, right? But then they got to the group's got to make the choice where they're going to check on you, see if you're bleeding. And if you're bleeding out, then they got to worry about stopping the bleeding. And then all this while the fight's going on really creates a great tension. I love it a lot. And I got to do it a lot down in North Carolina last weekend. I had quite a few people go under. No, I don't think I only had but one character. One guy died twice, actually. I had pre-gens, but they were trying to get across this big magical trap. And I like to use a lot of illusions sometimes, and it was an illusion, and they didn't figure it out. They finally figured it out, but after his third character, I think. He brought in another wizard and figured it out. Anyway, that's my story on that. That's typically what I like to do. Let's see here. Question, Hermit. What about the Hermit? Oh, no, it wasn't the Hermit. I see you answered about the Kickstarter. I think it was Reforged, actually. I don't know why I'm even asking. I can just go look here and see. Kickstarter, I'll just go over and look. It'll tell me a list right away when I go over and click on. Oh, I'm logged in. Let me log out here a minute. That's really? Hold on. That's not right. Here. All right, let's see. I got some hot coffee. That's helping me. The last one we did was Reforged. Then it was World Builders before that, and then the Hermit. Okay, right on. Let's see. Yep, Nargis got it. What are the pros and cons of mega dungeons? Personally, I don't use them. Well, So I like mega dungeons in the right way. All right. So I don't know how you guys run them, but the way I do them is if I like to do them the way I did when I was growing up is where you have to make sorties into them, right? So I don't do a whole lot of mega dungeons. I really don't. But when I do them, I make sure that it's in a situation where if they go in, they're going to go in, they're going to get out. They're not going to go in and clear out a mega dungeon. I don't believe in that. If it's a mega dungeon, like Undermountain, man, we never cleaned that dungeon out. I know they do it in some of these other games, but we never did that. I mean, we went down in there and fought, but my God, if you want to haul the loot out of there, you've got to go make trips and stuff. Well, that's the thing. That's one thing I like about mega dungeons is because what I typically do with them is I kind of run them like they're in a living environment. What I mean by that is they're alive and that there's usually, not always, I guess you could have a place that's just completely deserted, but what's the point? I like to have factions. I like to have weird stuff. Like oftentimes what I'll do is, especially if it's a special mega dungeon like Undermountain or somewhere where it's like sort of like a magical, I might switch up the rooms a little bit. I do that with Undermountain a lot. I'll take all of those sections and I'll mess them around. I never, and just kind of, they'll go, when they go back down, they come back in the same room, but when they start going off, it's a different direction. I like to do that because I don't want them to ever think that a mega dungeon is something that you can clean out. So I never let them find they always have, when they go back in, it's always a little different. There might be some same rooms, but eventually it'll be different as they go further out, right? Because I don't want them to ever want to clean it out. Now, if they're going out to clean it out to make it a lair or something for themselves, that's a different story. But if they're just doing a normal like dungeon crawl, I would rather it be the place that they go and visit. And George, if George is listening, he'll resonate with this. They go in this dungeon, they have a good time, and then they leave, and then they maybe go do something else. And maybe a few years later, they can come back and revisit the dungeon, that kind of thing. So that's the, it's a good thing you can do if you do it like that. The con of a dungeon is if you just try to run it like a straight up dungeon that they're going to go and explore the whole thing, that's fine, but it can get really boring, especially in a game. If you have a game where the game moves kind of slow, if you've got either slow combat or if it's heavy RP or something like that, if it's a heavy RP, you may not have as much of a fun time either as you would like in an urban setting. But again, that's where factions come in at. If you've got some factions down there, like I say, you've got the Guzabad orcs and you've got the red-handed red caps or something, you've got just whatever you want to build down there. Maybe you've got a mad wizard that's been down there forever. Maybe he's trying to turn himself into a lich and the experiment went wrong. And it affected maybe a tribe of goblins that live nearby. Now all of them's undead, even him. You can go on down the road with all that, but you can have these factions, warring and stuff. They can have gang wars going on or whatever. Maybe there's some resources down there that you can't get at the surface, and they're trying. Someone knows this, and so there's some sort of war going on over this resource. I don't know, but you can. That's the thing about it. With a mega dungeon, you've got to come up with some creative things if you want them to be down there for a long time. If they're just going to do sorties and come in and out, then you can kind of switch things out marginally, right? Modular. But anyway, that's kind of how I do it. I don't do a ton of them. I think any kind of a mega dungeon is great because it's just a giant hex crawl, right? But in moderation, Or if not in moderation, then when you have other regular smaller dungeons, they're not going to want to. They won't enjoy them as much. It kind of wears things. It's kind of like always doing overland travel. You have to kind of mix and match, I think, a little bit. And it also boils down if you're doing campaign versus one shots. You're doing one shots, whatever, right? It's campaign, then you got to really think about that kind of stuff, Let's see. Back up here. Portugal. Good to know about the part. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I think you'll be pleased with it because they cover Europe. We're trying to get into Australia and New Zealand next year, and then that'll be good. You know what's really hard? What's crazy about that though is it's cheaper for us. It's really weird how it works with Canada. Like it's cheaper instead of it's cheaper for it's still cheaper for them to. It's I don't know, for whatever reason they can't seem to get a break to do it, even though it's got the tariff stuff going on or whatever they call it in the VAT and all that. I don't know, it just doesn't work for Canada for some reason still. So we're talking to a distributor in Canada right now too. So I hope by the end of next year that we've got everybody covered pretty much in most of the world. We're really trying. How was Grace, by the way? Oh, she's doing great. She was on. She did a reading Monday night. And then Steve did his first aired show right after that. I was passed out, so she ran the stream. She wasn't on camera, I don't think. No, she wasn't. But she's doing okay. She's doing really good. She's been busy, You'll see her soon, I'm sure. We're going to start doing some more streams like that, and I'm going to have her on with Steve, and We're going to do the aired stream on Mondays after her reading and maybe talk about some of her fiction and talk about that stuff. And we're going to start exploring aired. Me and Steve had a good talk about it yesterday. I'm going to try to set up a nice show for us so that we can break down parts of aired and talk about it. You know, what went on there, the history of it. Have you guys come with questions. Do about a 45-minute show on every Sunday or Monday after her readings. Sometimes it'll relate to what she's reading about. Sometimes it may not. And we'll talk about some of our products. So if you guys are curious about buying books from aired, which ones to buy, what does this do? What does this do? You know, we just want to give a good informative show for you. We like doing these kind of hangout and talks, but we want to do more than that with aired. We want to actually start going and go over the map with you and talk about places. Because even though I've read, you know, the Codex of Aired a million times and Anadooth and stuff, there's still a lot I don't know. Steve is the key to all that, right? And I love to hear him talk about it because like for example, there was a guy in Discord yesterday that I saw he asked me a post about something I didn't even know about. It was excuse me. What was it about? It was what was that question? It was really cool. I don't know what channel it was in now, but he was talking about some sort of it was an undead thing. I can't remember now. It really blew my mind. I'll have to go back and find the conversation later. But it was an area of air that I didn't know anything about, right? You know, and I'm trying to work on Inclunade too, so getting knowledge from him helps, right? Let me catch up here. Let's see. If I can't tell if he's alive, I'll stab him once more. Yeah, right on, King. Double tap, right? Yeah. When I played in Intermountain, I went through 7 characters. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly, man. As kids, we went through shit tons of characters. I found, I guess it was last year, a box here that's got, check this out, guys. Where's this one folder at here? Here's one of our older, we got, there's tons of my old character sheets from AD&D. I found them. I got all kinds of them in here. It's hilarious, too. Lots and lots of character sheets in here. They're in a box. There's one on notebook paper. Look at that crap. So, lots of characters, right? Lots and lots of characters. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Emerald Spire is a fun mega day. Oh, is it? I'll have to check it out, man. I'm going to write that down somewhere. I'm always looking. I'll check it out. Steve's going to try to. I don't know if he'll ever finish Offstug or not. That's supposed to be our major, dungeon crawl. I'm going to probably put some sort of a dungeon crawl down in Cluny. I've still been debating on it. I've got one. It's borrowed from somebody else, so I'll probably do something similar to it. I want to do something with Serpent Men because we've got them in the M&T now. Oh, man, they're sweet, too. So I'd kind of like to do a Serpent Man sort of old dungeon. Maybe an old tomb or something. I don't know. We'll see. Emerald Spire. Let me write that down because I want to check that out. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm not taking any cough drops out there because I'm drinking coffee, so my throat's giving me a time. I always play Omega Dungeons. Ah, ha, ha, ha. They named Omega because it's the last thing the characters ever see. Yeah, no shit. Hey, Tabletop Junkie. What's up, brother? How you doing? How's it going? Let's see. Jim Chris, good morning. How you doing, man? Sitting here fighting some COVID, drinking some coffee, shooting shit. Let's see. Get on these raffles, guys. That's good. Awesome character sheets from high school, which is, yeah, I know, man. I haven't been through those really. I need to go through them. What I want to do is get them out because I've got a bunch of them from the guys too. They don't know it. And I'm going to take them and put them in their character folders for them. And so next time, when I get them done, I'll put them in there and then they'll come over to play a session and all of the characters will be in there. I think that would be nice, really cool for them to see. Because I've got them going back. I've got them going all the way back, man. They're like 80, or something. I don't think there's any basic character sheets. I hadn't thought about basic, though. There might be some in here. I wonder if there is any basic ones in here. We did crazy stuff, too. Like, check this out. I'll show you something cool. I was all into it, man. I wanted to do, we made our own custom character sheets, like these right here. We did these. Look how big they were. They were on these big sheets. Because we try to get everything on them right here. As you can see. It's nuts. This character here is a bounty hunter class. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy. This is one of my buddies. I don't know. He's got treasure on the back and all that stuff. Elric Deathoak. I know this guy. I think this is the guy that, he's the guy that burnt another this guy did PvP with the group we were in. He ended up working like swing shift and couldn't play regular, so he started playing and going after his own buddies. He burned a wizard spell book. He killed a guy with top F poison. That was a crazy ass character right there. I could go on and on about this stuff, man. There's some funny stuff in here. We had, oh wow, here's something. Here we go. Oh, that's AD&D. Yeah, these are all the same. Forgotten around. Yeah, I was trying to find some basic ones. I'm sure I've got them in one of these folders somewhere. If I've got these older characters, they've got to be in here. I've got more folders though. I've got lots of folders to look at. Oh wow, look in here. Look at this old stuff. There's one of my White Plume Mountains. Oops. This is old shit. Oh, and there's that Forbidden City, man. Right there. Yeah, this is an old box. I need to dig through this thing. Really good. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Some character sheets. Old character sheets are cool. I've got a few to scan. The paper won't last. Yeah, I hadn't thought about scanning them. That's a good point, man. Old character. Yeah, let's see. I always have to roll up another character who is the brother of the one that just died. Man, Omega, I played in the game of 5e about 6 years ago with a buddy of mine. He's dead now. His name's Rob too. He used to stream a lot of 5e. And he was doing a Western Marches campaign. I was playing this shaman, a lizardman shaman. And whenever I finally stopped playing, his name was like Gorok the Seventh or something like that. Because I came in first level, now I was like fifth, and he didn't make no adjustments. So I kept dying over and over. It was kind of funny. Good. Just working a lot, so I'll give you guys some more money for. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. I appreciate you helping me get a paycheck. Now, don't get me wrong, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, for me, it's funny how many stories I remember when I look at the old. I know the stories come back, right? Like I remember so much, man, when I start looking through those characters. And what's interesting, you'll see a character and you'll be like, "Did I play this? What is this?" Then I'll start looking at the back of it and I'll read some of the magical items. And back when I was younger, I always write lots of notes on them, right? And I'd be like, oh, and then all of a sudden the stories start coming back. Hoarders with Chuck. I am terrible, man. You know, I was fortunate, Omega. We had a really big flood in our old home, and I lost all of my CNC stuff, all of it. But this stuff was sitting on top of it, and so it was survived. All my AD&D and basic. I mean, a lot of it's in rough shape. I didn't take good care of it. Don't get me wrong, but I do have quite good stuff still. I've got a bunch of stuff. Y'all can't see that shelf over there that well, but I've got a lot of good stuff over there. If I had a bigger room, I'd probably have a nice place to display it all, but I don't. I have a really small room to work out of, so someday maybe when I'm dead, you know. Oh, did you go to high school with Rob Toohey? No kidding, Tomcat. That's cool. Me and Rob were good buddies. I loved Rob. He was a stand-up comedian for 30 years. He was an asshole, but he was a great guy. He really was a good guy. He was so funny. We had a lot of fun together. We played a lot of games together. I met him a few times. We went down to Florida one time for a thing for Fantasy Grounds. I ran them in Lost Caverns of Sojanth. We were there for like 4 days and we ran it. You know, like just sitting around like after there was like a mini con thing going on. And that evening we would go out and we'd either order food in like Chinese and we would play all night. It was a lot of fun. I ran him through that. That was a lot of fun. I miss Rob. He's a good dude. He helped me out a lot too. Because I was back when I was trying to stream and before I worked for the Trolls, I was just doing my own thing and I was doing a little bit of content development for some people, but it wasn't nothing like now, you know. So it was good stuff. So that means you're out from that west then. I used to live out in Seattle. I lived out in Ballard. I lived out all over the place out there actually for about 5 years. I lived out there and owned some restaurants back in the 90s. Yeah. He was. Hey, listen. He would laugh his ass off. Let me tell you a story about him. This is a story he told me. He said, I asked him one day, we were on stream, and I said, Rob, I said, how did you start playing D&D? He said he was going to college, and he was going to high school, and he had some buddies that were playing, and he wasn't really like, you know, he wasn't into sports. He was just kind of doing his own thing, and they were like, hey, come try this game out. And he was like, eh. So finally, they talked him into it. He goes to this guy's house. The guy's name's Kevin. And on Rob's shows, he used to always have a hashtag that said "fuck Kevin" all the time. It was pretty funny. And I didn't make the correlation until he told me the story. But anyway, they came over to this guy's house. He had a big oak table, you know, with dice and minis and all that on it, you know. And so he sits down. He don't know what to expect or whatever. He lets him pick a character out. I think he had a fighter or something. And so he's waiting his turn, and he sits everybody up. They're going through this alley, and it's pouring down rain in a city. And he said, told everybody to roll a 20-sided dice for a check or whatever. And he was going around the room telling them things. He looked over at Rob, and Rob had just, now remember, he just started playing. He says, you see a movement over on a side alley. He goes, I want to go check it out. He goes, okay, you go down in there, and he goes down around the corner to check it out. And you guys see somebody coming up the alley. So then a few minutes later, he hands Rob a note. He says, don't open it yet. So Rob says, okay, he sits there. And he goes back. He's talking to those guys. And so they get in a fight with some dude, a thief or whatever. Now, what's happening here, my understanding is there's a bunch of thieves attacking them in the rainstorm in the city. They're being robbed, I suppose. Rob never really explained that, but that's what I'm assuming. So anyway, they're having this fight or whatever. It gets done. And then he goes around the table and he tells Rob to open the paper up. Rob opens the paper up and it says, you get hit in the neck with a dart, you are dead. And Rob looked at that and he looked up at the guys and he held up the paper. They said, what is it? He goes, it says I got hit in the neck with a dart and I'm dead. And he said it just blew his mind. He was like, what kind of a game is this? He never played before. So he gets really pissed, right? And he says, you know what? Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck this game. Fuck everything. And he gets up and he grabs the table and flips it up in the air. But the table's made of oak. He doesn't get it lifted up in the air. He's, fuck you! And he just gets up and leaves. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sure it was true because he was, Rob didn't lie or anything. He was an honest guy. So, but I can't imagine me sitting at the table and him over there trying to lift that table and flip it and he can't get nowhere. And he's like, fuck you! Oh my God. Granted, that's definitely that was a bad experience for a first-time player for sure, right? That's what you don't want to happen. But they were all young. Yeah, table flip fell, but I laughed my ass off every time he would tell that story because I just can't imagine him, trying to flip that thing. I don't know. It's funny. He did not make his strength check, no. And all those people sitting around him, or his buddies or whatever, and that was kind of harsh, man. I mean, I'm not gonna judge anybody on what they do with their games or whatever, but this guy was brand new. He just killed him right off the bat. I will have groups that are learning die. Typically what I'll do is I'll run them through a couple sessions. We'll do sessions -1 where they learn checks and combat. I'll run them in like a little arena or whatever. And then in session 0, they make the characters up. And then I promptly do a TPK so they get that out of the way and talk about it. But not in a situation where you don't know. You're just sitting there wanting to play, and all of a sudden, well, you're dead. It's like, I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Frank. Good morning to you, buddy. How are you doing? I will judge without reservation. That is bad. It was bad. Yeah, but, God knows we probably all DM'd really bad when we were young. I'm sure I did. I didn't start off being a DM. Y'all have heard the story about me. I had a coup. I took over, sort of less. The guy that was doing it was pretty abusive to us. We all had characters die all the time. He kept track of it and stuff. But anyways, so I get it. You knew. I was new to it. I didn't know. Nobody knew what they were doing back then. And the books didn't really. The books guided us and stuff, but no one had ever played that before. It's not like now where you go into a game store and you can play in a game and watch a guy DM and stuff. We didn't have any of that. When I first started playing, there were no game stores that had D&D in them. I mean, you played at home. I played by mail, for Christ's sakes. I would go and I played an adventure through the mail, So it was just a lot different back then, throwing it up there, homie. Love it. I started DMing when I was 5. I can only make, think about it, man. It's like, and we've got kids like at GaryCon. I was just talking to a guy a while ago. This year at GaryCon, I'll probably have Violet. She's 10 and runs games. I'll probably have Eli. Eli's 10 or 11. He runs games for us. He just ran a bunch of games up in Columbus or Dayton, Ohio. Jim Smiley's boys, they're twins. They're 12. They run games. We got lots of young folk running games. You know what I mean? So, and they're doing a hell of a job. But they get to go to these cons, or they go to the stores, and they see people. They see their parents run them or whoever. We didn't have anybody we didn't know. Only person I had to go off of was the guy that was DMing us, and I knew sure as hell I wasn't going to be like him. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to kill everybody off. He kept track of it in his DMs guide. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I've got his hashtag in mine over here somewhere. Teach his ass a lesson. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I'm about to start to lose my voice here, guys. So I'm going to probably have to cut off out of here. I just wanted to hop on this morning and tell everybody I appreciate you for supporting us And yeah, we're going to start doing on this stream here. I'm going to also start working on Include Nate with you guys. I think I wanted to show you a site. I'll try to do it next Wednesday. I'll bring it up and show it to you that I found that I might use. They approached me about, what I thought about it. So I'm going to give it a test run. Maybe you can give it a test run with me. We can look at it and see if it's good for note taking and that kind of thing. I'm kind of curious about it. It was stolen by a skilled thief. Yeah, my wife, she stole it. I blame her. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I should have my stream tomorrow afternoon with I'm not sure if Steve will be here, but I'll be on and Jeremy will be on. And Davis is still out of town. He's he's run about. So I'm not sure what we'll do. We may get on here and just talk about movies. We'll shoot some shit or whatever. We'll give away some money off the store and just hang out, Hey, I appreciate it so much, guys. Really, we do. We appreciate all the support. You guys are freaking awesome. What's up, Juan Cholo? I was about 9. My brother was 7 when my dad ran our first D&D game. Yeah, Beck me. That's awesome, dude. That's what I'll start. I bet we all start on basic. Yeah. What was the link for Gary Con volunteer CKs? Will you give newer CKs a quick reference? Oh, of course, man. Full support, man. Full support. Just go right here. You can email us right there. That's an email. There's the website. Go to the website and sign up. Anybody who wants to be involved in running games should sign up on there, because that way you can get some of the free stuff, because I'm building out a program where we're going to have a library. If you've got pre-gens or adventures you want to upload for other people to play with, you can do it there. I'm going to have a store on there. We're going to have, discounts and stuff, but we're going to also have a place maybe to put some cool swag. I want to try to get like notepads made, bookmarks, stuff we can do in the print shop for you guys. And then as you run games during the year, I'll give you points, and then those points will build up, and that'll give you a coupon to get the stuff off the GM store for free. It'll be cheap anyway, because you want to keep buying it, and I get that, but I don't want you guys to spend a ton of your money. So I want to try to build it to where you can run games and earn some of it for free, right? And then, of course, when we do these cons, I'll give some store credit, and I want to try to do. So we've been trying to do these shirts every year for the cons, and I've run into problems of running out of colors. So I think what I'm going to do is come up with a few different colors that we'll just rotate, but we'll have different designs on them. Because I want to do one for AA and CNC. I want to have anniversary stuff, do some different things, but have a shirt every year, see what we can do with it. I don't know. I don't want to make it too crazy or anything, but I want to have something that kind of reward you guys for running games, because I think it'd be just cool to do, But I'm still trying to work on getting it all worked out, because you'd be surprised how much work there is tracking all that and keeping it all organized. And people's got their real life problems and stuff, and so we go back and forth with it, But hit that link, sign up there, and and I'll email back anybody's got questions. We'll get you hooked up. I'll get you a badge, and we'll get you some swag and stuff for coming up there, and absolutely help you out. I can give you some materials if you need it. You need something to run, I'll help you out, man. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I love GMing the same game many times. Yeah, that's always fun to do, Omega, comparing it out. Yeah. Well, it's a great program. We just got to work on it. Frank's a big help of it right there. Getting it off the ground. Got to have a lot of people, because real life is a pain in the ass, right? Gets in the way. All right, guys. Let me see. Everything back and always try to spread the goodwill. Let's see who's on this morning. See if Mike's on. I may just run you guys over to Mike. Yeah, let's roll over and let's raid into Mike Moans. He's doing some miniature paint. That'll give you something to listen to. He's such a nice guy. I'm going to see if Mike might be interested in doing a little bit of painting for us. Maybe do a sponsored stream, or maybe get him to do something on here. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if he would or not. He's pretty busy, but he might be up for it. I'm not real sure. You guys go give him a like. Mike's a great guy. Can't say enough about him. He sits around. Oh, the raffle. Scarlett, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Told you guys I was out of it this morning. But yeah, go give Mike a good support. I'll start the raid up right here in just a second. But he talks. I go in there all the time and just sit and listen. He talks about us, and we don't even, we're not like sponsored or anything. So he's a great guy. Let's see if my mouse will work this time. No. Check this shit out. Now I got to unplug my mouse. The shit I got to go through. I'm gonna have to order me another splitter, I guess. Unplug my mouse here, and then oh wow, it's managed to get through another wire. Great. There we go. This is ridiculous. I hate technology. I used to love it. I got old one day and decided I didn't like it no more. All right. Let me close the entries out. Actually, I want to refresh first, as it shows one person there. I know there's one person. Another thing that drives me crazy is these websites. They don't work half the time. All right, we're going to get this in here right now, guys. Close the entries out. All right, I'm gonna pull 3 this morning. You guys managed to put up my voice and stuff, so let's pull 3 winners. First winner is going to be Narg. Congrats. There's the link. You're already in the Discord. You know what to do. Next one would be Omega Gamut. Congrats. And our last winner would be who is it? Oh, Junkie. You got it. Right on. That's awesome. Trolls it, guys. Awesome. Congrats. Now I got to unplug my mouse. Plug it back in over here. It's so stupid. It worked fine when I went to bed. I don't know, man. Whatever. I didn't even reboot the computer. So, gremlins, whatever, right? Narga Mega Junkie. That's funny shit. That's funny. All right, I'll get the raid start from Mike. We'll go over and you guys can hang out with him. Congrats, everybody. Hey, thanks. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me a little bit. Sorry about me being so sick this morning. I'm getting over it, though. I'll probably be in a lot better shape tomorrow night whenever we do the Thursday stream. I'll probably be in a lot better shape. It seems to be doing a lot better. I worked too long yesterday. Probably shouldn't have. Probably should have slept some. Hey, I will. You guys have a great day too. Thank you so much. Never forget that we really appreciate you. So y'all have a great day. And tabletop. Just basically, you can just add him in any of the channels. General's good. Or if you want to, you can just send him a private. He's out of town right now. He'll be checking, but he's on the road. He's got a conference he went to. So, but you can just you can DM him if you want, or you can just do @Obsidian Risk and the channel will pop up. He'll get you. So I would suggest there. What I might do though. I've been thinking about doing is having. I got to get around and getting that Discord worked on. I got to fix it back up again and get it cleaned up. And I want to get a bot in there where you guys just go into a command and it hits him. I think I can work that out. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, though. I'm going to roll on out of here. I'm losing my voice again. Thank you so much. We'll see you. Trolls eye. Ow!